the truth from a tall glass of wine. Whisper to the moon and call it an old friend. Journey on this ball that never seems to end. Gravity's a myth when you're high on a trend. Drunk on life till we reach the bend. Fill up the glass and let's toast to the night. Dancing with the stars under neon light. Truth gets fuzzy but the vibe's so tight. Round and round we go till morning light. Till morning light. Yo, yo! Woo! Whisper to the moon and call it an old friend. Journey on this ball that never seems to end. Gravity's a myth when you're high on a trend. Drunk on life till we reach the bend. Whoa, fill up the glass and let's toast to the night. Dancing with the stars under neon light. Truth gets fuzzy but the vibe's so tight. Round and round we go till morning light. Till morning light. Till morning light. Till morning light.
Hello and welcome back to the Drunk Debunk Show. How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight we have a debate between Peter Markley versus King NiCO, biblical cosmology debate. So we are they're getting ready. We're all gonna have some fun tonight, guys. So the way it's gonna go, okay, I'll wait till they're on to talk about the rules.
Just curious.
Hello guys, how are you? How's it going, NiCO?
Hey, good day, Mike. Everything's going well. Good evening.
Beautiful. All right, you guys ready to go for it?
I am ready.
All right, perfect. All right, so the way it's gonna go is there's gonna be 2 10-minute introductions, opening statements, and then 40 minutes to an hour of open discussion, and then Q&A at the end. So who's going first?
I don't really care.
I'll go first.
All right, NiCO will go first, and we'll get started. All right, go ahead.
All right, so welcome everyone. So tonight, again, I'm back. We're doing another biblical flat earth debate. We have Peter Markley with us tonight. So it was very recently. I did a very similar one with Max. He's probably watching right now. So a lot of the stuff is going to be similar, but I did my best to change it up and make it a bit more unique for Peter's sake. So yeah, the earth is a flat circle, not a globe. The Bible repeatedly describes the earth as a circle, not a sphere, and fixed in place. Isaiah 40:22, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers that stretcheth out of the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. So the word used for circle in Hebrew is hug. It looks like hug, but the U has an accent on it, so it's huge, which means a flat circular shape, not a sphere. So if God meant a ball or sphere, he would have used the Hebrew word dur, D-U-R, which is for ball, but he did not. Job 38:13-14, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it. It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. So the verse describes the earth as a flat surface being pressed like a clay seal, which in ancient times were always flat circular discs. We have 1 Chronicles 16:30. The world also shall be stable, so no movement. We have a stable world, that it be not moved. So the earth is described as immovable and fixed, contradicting the heliocentric model, which claims the earth spins at over 1,000 miles per hour and orbits the sun at 66,600 miles per hour. So the very firmament, the solid dome over the earth, which is described like a number of times in the Holy Bible, it describes the sky as a solid structure, separating waters above from waters below. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament, the rakia, which means a solid, beaten out structure, not an open atmosphere. So there's a solid glass structure, molten, stretched out across the whole flat circular disk earth that is not moving. So Job 37:18 says, hast thou with him spread out the sky, which is strong and as a molten looking glass? The sky is compared to a strong, polished, glass-like dome. So I just wanted to quickly see if I can share my screen and just bring up an image of what I have here on the screen. Where's my, just so you can see what I'm describing here.
That's from Rob Skiba, isn't it?
So yeah, so what we're looking at is a very well put together depiction of God's holy word from the very Bible, from all the verses that I am going over here. The late, great Rob Skiba put this together. And as you can see, from the very word of God, this is the structure that is formed. There's the flat circular disk earth with the ice wall that surrounds it. You can see the glass firmament that covers the whole earth to contain it. So we're in a container, so gas needs to be contained, okay? So, but that's the science of it. And then you can see the waters outside of the firmament and this dome structure. And then you can see what's also keeping that in. And then you can see the ceiling and everything. Absolutely crazy. Probably one of the best depictions of what's going on with the waters above. So Psalm 19:1 says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So the firmament is an actual visible, physical creation, and it's not empty space. Ezekiel 1:26, and above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. God's throne is above the firmament, meaning it is a solid structure separating heaven from earth. So there's been many depictions and descriptions of God's throne and the stones that surround it, whether it's emerald or sapphire. And if you go towards the North Pole, and you'll experience something known as the aurora borealis, which is pretty much a green, emerald, and sapphire tone of colors shining down from right below the North Star, Polaris, right below the throne of God. So the sun, the moon, and the stars are inside the firmament. Genesis 1:14-17, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And then we have Joshua 10:12-13, sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Eglon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed. This suggests the sun moves over the earth, not the earth spinning. So in conclusion now, the Bible consistently describes the earth as a flat stationary circle covered by a firmament dome. So if we trust God's word over man's theories and science, I do not believe in any science. It is man that writes these scientific journals, and they're only, what, less than 50 years old compared to the holy word of God in the Holy Bible, which is now over 2,000 years old. So I look at the Bible as the original science, and all this man-made science is just there to contradict what the Bible and the Word of God describes. Psalm 118-8 says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." Science is man's interpretation of reality, but the Bible is God's revelation. So tonight, I challenge you to look at the scripture with fresh eyes and ask yourself, do I believe the word of God or the words of men? Thank you.
Beautiful. Very well done. Very well done. He had 2 minutes left, and now we pass it on over to Peter. All right. If you can just stop sharing your screen real quick, in case we can get Peter up here. All right. All right. Beautiful. All right. Peter, you have 10 minutes on the clock.
All right. You see my screen here?
Yes, we can.
And if I shoot, I'm trying to start the presentation. Okay, do you see this?
Yep, we see it. Perfect.
Awesome. All right. If anyone has heard me speak on flat Earth elsewhere, they probably already know the term robothemism. The gist is, modern flat Earth, including NiCO's belief, is completely different from anything else in history. All ancient cultures with flat Earth cosmologies, and I do mean all of them, believed that when the sun set at night, it was gone, not visible to any human being in the habitable world. Almost universally, they believed it was under us, underground, in the underworld, in the Earth God's stomach, something like that. That's the straightforward answer to how it gets back east for the next sunrise. By contrast, NiCO is part of a brand new cult movement that started in the 1800s with Samuel Robotham. Everything here should look familiar, because this is all the same dogma that flat earthers use today. Sunset is due to perspective as it moves away horizontally, the North Pole is the center of the world, Antarctica is an ice wall around the outside, etc. Robotham pulled all of this out of his hat fully formed, and it has not changed in 160 years. Welcome to Robothamism. I want this to sink in for you all. What my opponent believes is not ancient or historical. He will try to downplay the distinction, but sunrise and sunset are arguably the most obvious natural phenomena in the world. There was never a time that mankind didn't understand the sun was going up and down. In order to deny that, you have to be part of a cult, and cults are really bad at judging their own roots. We must not let NiCO or other flat earthers get away with redefining these categories. If they do, they can just presume victory by sowing any shred of doubt about modern science or the meaning of Scripture, which is a completely dishonest approach. What we need today is a fair and balanced trial of the facts, and that is the last thing that NiCO wants. Once he's primed you with modern robothemist assumptions, there's a bunch of verses he can take out of context, as we just saw, to sound like they're saying the Earth is flat, stationary, and enclosed. We'll deal with those when we talk about phenomenology. But I want everyone to watch as NiCO either fails or flat out refuses to provide even one single Bible verse that supports specifically robothemism, which is NiCO's view. He's trying to piggyback off a bunch of other ancient cosmologies that are completely different. Meanwhile, Matthew 5:45 and Ephesians 4:26 show that if there were any such thing as biblical cosmology, it would be decidedly non-robothemist. Another thing NiCO will do is try to shift the burden of proof by demanding that I provide a verse saying the Earth is a globe. This is wrong because I have the agnostic position here. The Bible teaches history, theology, and how to reconcile with God. It no more teaches cosmology than it does chemistry or math or how to tie your shoe. Those are just not subjects that God seems to have considered important to reveal in his divine word. After he had Adam name the animals in Genesis 2, he left us the job of figuring out the rest of creation too. That's what we call science, and that's how we know it's a globe. Not because God said so, but because it looks like God made it so. NiCO, if you're going to use the Bible to claim authority while you teach something, then it's your job to prove the Bible actually says it. That's how this works. Speaking of science, we were blessed with an independently wealthy Christian pastor, Will Duffy, who took an interest in this debate and decided out of the goodness of his heart to spend his honest, hard-earned money to give you guys the proof you were asking for free of charge. His reward, the most shocking onslaught of hate and slander that I have ever personally seen, rivaled only by the stuff against Jaren for accepting Duffy's gift and witnessing a wonder of God's creation. This is dishonesty on a level that takes my breath away. NiCO, in your email to me, you wrote, "The final experiment was another government NASA-funded psyop to destroy, and deter people from the truth of our world." NiCO, you sound completely insane. Your basis for saying this amounts to basically your own scientific illiteracy about photography and shadows and CGI, and your delusional numerology, soothsaying, and omen reading. You don't really care what the Bible teaches. If you did, these and other verses might give you a bit of trouble sleeping at night for what you say about Will Duffy, Michael Toon, and other good, honest men and women. You shall not spread a false report. You shall not join hands with a wicked man to be a malicious witness. Exodus 23:1. You shall not go around as a slanderer among your people, Leviticus 19:16. O Lord, who shall dwell in your tent? He who does not slander with his tongue, nor takes up a reproach against his friend, Psalm 15:1-3. Every charge must be established by the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses, 2 Corinthians 13:1. And note that means actual witnesses, not just online randos with opinions. You shall not add to the word that I command you, nor take from it, Deuteronomy 4:2. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you, and you be found a liar, Psalm 30:6. NiCO, seems to me like you have no fear of these warnings at all. You even dare to call your little YouTube pipeline of slander and misinformation a ministry, while operating with absolutely no affiliation or oversight from any established church body or tradition. How about some of these verses? Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. Proverbs 18:1. Avoid foolish controversies. As for a person who stirs up division, after warning him once and then twice, have nothing more to do with him. Titus 3:9-10. NiCO, consider this debate tonight my warning to you. You are in sin, and God does not look kindly on that. Now, if you're going to exercise all that license and authority with Scripture, you'd want your scriptural argument to be pretty strong, right? I know I would. And yet it happens that almost every Bible verse used by flat earthers boils down to the same thing: phenomenology. Phenomenology is when something is described according to the eye rather than according to its absolute nature. If I'm in a moving vehicle and I say that trees are rushing past me, even though it's actually me that's moving and not the trees, this is not an incorrect or metaphorical statement. It's just a phenomenological statement. I am describing the motion from my point of view and making no reference one way or another to the absolute nature of the situation. That's exactly how the Bible is on cosmology. Take almost any verse that NiCO uses tonight and ask yourself the question: is the Bible author maybe just speaking phenomenologically? Just like the example of trees rushing past me. If you search the text, you will almost never, ever find a reason to say no to this question. The Bible uses phenomenological language freely and abundantly everywhere and all the time. Despite our modern mindset, it was pretty much the dominant literary mode at the time. Even for a regular person, it can be pretty challenging to truly unplug your brain from the 21st century to understand the way that Scripture was written. How much more so for a dedicated cultist like NiCO, who has nothing to gain and everything to lose if he comprehends this. Ladies and gentlemen, watch him run. On some level deep down, he knows this is a gruesome death blow to his cult beliefs. He will not tolerate a word of it. One last note. It turns out that even the word rakia itself, which is translated firmament or expanse in Genesis 1, is also phenomenological. It just means expanse. On this topic, flat earthers get especially careless in cherry-picking secular scholars who use something called the historical critical approach or higher criticism to say this word means a hard or solid dome. You'll find this in any lexicon based on the work of Wilhelm Gesenius, and even in the complete Jewish Bible translation. This is the same method that people use to tell us that Moses didn't write the Torah. It fundamentally undermines our belief that the Bible had a divine origin. And need I remind, they are not portraying a Hebrew cosmology that's compatible with Robotham. Even so, I expect every single piece of that to go completely over NiCO's head. He's probably just going to keep cherry-picking that scholarship, totally oblivious to the deep, profound incoherencies that it brings to his argument. And this includes the word firmament, which ultimately comes from pagan Greek cosmology, and if you can believe it, includes a spherical Earth. So, NiCO, you got your work cut out for you tonight. Time to put on your big boy pants and answer my challenges. Are you ready? Number 1, show me one Bible verse that supports specifically robothemism. Not just flat Earth, not geocentrism, robothemism. Number 2, show me one flat or stationary Bible verse that has a reason in the text to take it as ontological, which is the way that you're taking these verses. Number 3, show me one source for saying that rakia means a solid dome that is not traceable to historical criticism, which tries to undermine the Bible's divinity. Unless, of course, you're fine with undermining the Bible's divinity. I guess that's a choice you could make. And number 4,
1 minute, Peter. Sorry.
Number 4, show me one honest, rational reason to suspect that Will Duffy or the rest are lying about TFE, where the funds came from, where it took place, whether any camera trickery was used, what we see in the cameras, and ultimately, whether God made a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which you know proves he didn't make it flat. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Peter. That was fantastic. Right on the dot there on time. All right, so now we're gonna open up to some open discussion here. But first, I got to do some housekeeping, guys. If you're enjoying the show, please hit that like button, subscribe, share this to your friends, and let's all join in the fun debate. All right, guys. Go for it. 40 minutes on the clock. If you guys need to go over a little bit, that's fine. Just have a good time.
Right. So yeah, thanks for that, Peter. I'm not running anywhere, so I'm gonna stick around and answer.
I hope that's true.
So yeah, roboticism. If I'm saying that,
Robothemism.
Robothemism.
The guy's name is Robotham.
Yeah,
It's
Samuel
Robotham.
Robotham, to do with his zetetic astronomy and his flat Earth beliefs. I'm still not entirely sure what you mean by how a Bible verse can depict robothemism, but I guess the verses you're referring to would be the ones that show that the Earth is fixed and immovable.
No,
Psalm
that's
104:5. He set
no,
the
that's
earth on its.
geocentrism. You're talking about geocentrism, not robothemism. Robothemism is the claim that the sun does not go beneath the earth. It just always travels horizontally and just sets because it gets too far away. That's robothemism. There is no Bible verse to support that.
Well, there doesn't need to be, because that's
Yes, there does, because it's completely unique in history.
Perspective of the sun. The sun doesn't go below the horizon. The sun stays in the sky 24/7 and
Yeah,
just
that makes you a sunset denier. The Bible authors were not sunset deniers. No Bible verse anywhere in the Bible supports sunset denial.
the sun doesn't set. That's just what
Yes,
man
it
came
does.
up with to
It's
say, oh,
so
the sun is
obvious. The
setting.
sun sets.
It's just the light is disappearing from where we are standing and viewing the sun, so we consider that to be the sun is setting because of the vanishing point, our perspective, our view with our puny little human eyes. That is how we see it and how they describe it. So it's
Okay,
just
so
the
you're just
light
vomiting
moving
cult
us.
dogma and you have no Bible verse to support it. Do I have that right?
I'm going to quickly find some here, but I noticed also, but I'm going to try and quickly scan.
I'm going to help you out here. The one Bible verse I have ever heard a robothemist use to support it is in Psalm 19. I think it's verse 3, where it says the sun does a circuit. Okay, but if you've ever seen a Ferris wheel, you know that a circuit can be vertical. That doesn't show that half the circuit isn't beneath the earth. Okay, so you're going to have to do better than that. That's the best Bible verse I have ever heard in support of robothemism, and it doesn't count because it fails.
So where's the Bible verse that describes the sun setting?
Matthew 5:45 or Ephesians 4:26. Both of those verses talk about the sun rising or the sun setting. And the Greek words used have a vertical movement connotation.
Okay, so let me quickly see. I got a verse here that could potentially be what you would view as the word of God saying that the sun sets. So Psalm 113:3, from the rising of the sun unto the going down of the same, the Lord's name is to be praised.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting the concept here. You need to show a verse to say that the sun doesn't set, not a verse to say that it does, a verse to say that it doesn't, because you just claimed the sun doesn't actually set, that it's just an illusion. That's the claim you need to support from scripture because you're abusing God's word.
So with the multiple verses that I'm going to be able to find that show the sun does a circuit, remains in the sky, and is moving. So you agree that the sun is moving then across
From
the
our
earth. The earth
perspective,
is not moving.
phenomenologically, yes, the sun does move, obviously. Nobody would deny that.
Okay, so I have a verse. So was it Psalm 19:4 that you just brought up, or was it a different
Yes,
one? Okay,
that
so
sounds about right.
yeah, so their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. So that's more Book of Enoch references, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. So the sun is running. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. So that means it's constantly, while it's running, nothing is hid from its heat as it's there in its presence.
So why does it get cold at night?
Because the sun would no longer is at a distance.
Because
Then we
this
have
verse isn't talking about all the time. It's not talking about 24 hours. It's talking about 12 hours or approximately.
from the viewpoint of someone watching it come and go as it completes its circuit from one end of the heavens to the other.
What do you think it means when it refers to the bridegroom's chamber? Where's that?
So this is more Book of Enoch references with the portals in the sky and the four angels at the
Yeah, that's also
corners of the
non-Robothemist.
earth.
Real inconvenient for you.
This isn't the Book of Enoch though. So that's more
It doesn't matter.
that the
They're
Book of
both
Enoch
non-Robothemist.
is legit and is supposed to be part of the Holy Bible, because words like
That's
chamber.
not the debate today. The debate here is whether Robothemism is supported by the Bible. Flat Earth, your belief
It is,
in
yeah, of
flat Earth.
course it is. And
No, it's not. We just established you don't have any Bible verses to support that.
well, again, Robothemism, we don't really need that. We've got our own experience
That's
here
your
on
view.
Earth,
That's my
and
word for your view. So if you don't like the term Robothemism, I will offer you this offer. If you give me a different neutral term to refer specifically to the belief that the sun never goes beneath the earth, I will use that term. Okay? I don't care about terms. I care about categories. Okay? Mental categories. You do not believe the same thing that the author of Enoch believed. You don't, because you don't believe the sun enters and exits through portals. Do you?
I believe that what is happening is way past our understanding.
Yeah, so magic.
But we're in a
Okay.
time where we need to kind of understand what is happening. And because we're in a world, we're pretty much in the end time, Satan has had a grip on this earth, and it's
All right. I don't need
teachings
to hear
and
you spout
knowledge.
off about eschatology.
It's
Okay,
all
that's not what we're here for
biblical.
today.
So again,
It's
everything
okay if you just say, I
distorted.
don't know. I think Enoch is a good source, and I think somehow that it can be reconciled, but I don't know how.
No,
That's an okay answer. I would respect it if you said that.
no, it's a complete different science. It's the biblical science that modern day
I'm
earthly
talking about
science
the difference between your view and Enoch,
is
not
not
the difference
different.
between
I
modern
believe
science.
everything that Enoch says. I believe what the Bible says with the
Yeah,
sun coming
okay,
through
so
the
what I'm
circuit.
saying is, what are the portals? And you said you don't know, basically. I
That's
respect the answer
beyond,
of
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
beyond my understanding.
All right, thank you.
Because our understanding of what a portal is compared to the time that Enoch wrote that compared to now, people have a distorted vision. And again, I think I have the same distortion, because in my mind, a portal is like some kind of mythical thing,
No, I think you
magical,
had it
and
right
someone will
first.
go through it. And
Honestly, I think you had it right first before you introduced Robothemism into your interpretation of Enoch. It doesn't belong. Every ancient culture that I studied that I could find that had any info on cosmology believed that the sun disappeared at night for all mankind. Okay, and that includes Enoch, that includes the Epic of Gilgamesh, that includes Egyptian mythology, that includes Aztec mythology. It's universal that all ancient flat Earth cosmologies believed the sun disappeared, gone for all mankind at night. Okay, so that's different than your belief because your belief is robothemism that came from the 1800s when we knew about time zones. So you're artificially bridging the
So the
gap.
time zones prove that the sun never sets because it's going to be 12 o'clock in the afternoon
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
okay. So it seems like you're still not getting the concept. So I'm going to bring up a diagram that might help us here. It was in one of my slides. Um, a lot of the audience may have seen this before. This diagram right here. See this?
Okay.
Okay, so in the red circle, you have views that explain time zones. In the green circle, you have views that are flat Earth. In the blue circle, you have views that explain sunset. And then you have the intersections, okay? These are ancient cosmologies here between the green and the blue. Ancient cosmologies explained sunset and they were flat Earth, but they did not explain time zones because they believed that at night the sun was gone. Okay? The globe is not flat Earth, but it does explain both natural phenomena, sunsets and time zones, right? That's why it's here between the red and the blue. Your view is robothemism, this section between the red and the green. It's flat Earth, it explains time zones, but it does not explain sunsets. You have to invoke optical illusions and things, magical rescuing devices in order to explain sunset. It's not based on observation of sunset. Instead, it says, oh, sunset must be something else other than what all of mankind has always assumed it to be, the sun going beneath us. So that's what we're dealing with here. You are a robothemist,
Okay, I
unless you
see what
prefer a
you're
different
saying.
term.
So now because of that, that's great. You put it well put. So I
Thank
need
you.
to prove that yeah, the sun's never gonna set. So I need to find people in every time zone and do an experiment where
No, we all
when
agree
someone
on
is
time
supposed
zones.
to, when we're seeing the sun that you're saying is setting and going down, that I need to have contact with someone that shows that it's not going down because it's up.
No, we all agree
I,
with time zones. We all agree with time zones. I'm a glober. I'm in this region right here between the red and the blue. I agree with time zones. You're in the yellow. You agree with time zones too. Nobody needs to prove time zones right now, as far as I'm aware.
so how do you explain the 24-hour sun with this diagram here being seen in Antarctica, in the South Pole on a globe? So how does that work with the time zones?
I don't have a ball to demonstrate, but if you can imagine this as the Earth spinning, okay? The day and night is due to the Earth spinning or the globe spinning, but it's tilted, right? And throughout the year, that tilt goes like this. So the 24-hour sun in Antarctica is when the bottom or the South Pole is tilted toward the sun if this camera is the sun. And so the spin does not take any part of the South Pole out of view of the sun until the summer.
So what
That's
about what about the northern hemisphere then? How does the time zones work? So if the southern hemisphere is getting 24 hours of sun, what about the rest of the time zones, which doesn't add up to what we experienced during that time?
It does add up. I don't know what you're talking about. It's exactly reverse. So while the 24-hour sun is visible in the South Pole, then the North Pole is experiencing 24-hour night, and vice versa. That's how it works. It's symmetrical on a globe.
Okay. So again, you referring to TFE as some kind of like slam dunk. They got us flat earthers with this experiment. You
Yeah,
referred to
it really was a slam dunk. They
no,
really
it
did.
wasn't. They did nothing. You referred to Pastor Will Duffy as a great Christian pastor that
He's
you
just
know.
a Christian pastor. I didn't refer to him as great. I just
Oh,
called him a Christian pastor because he
okay, yeah,
is.
not great, but he's a Christian
He is
pastor.
great in my opinion. I just didn't praise him here.
So yeah, TFE, we've already gone through TFE. It's been 2 months now. Nothing that TFE has produced has stood. I've got a video
What are
here
you talking about?
of Will Duffy I'd like to play. I'm gonna just share my screen. Let me just let
Okay,
that.
I'm stop sharing there.
Yeah. So Will Duffy, we're gonna take a quick look at this person who was pretty much in charge of this experiment that globe earthers are now looking to as some kind of finishing off of the flat Earth. So in this video, I'm not sure if you can see it.
Is again, I've said this multiple times, is I'm helping humanity. I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Nathan, NiCO, are you repeating this garbage? This is a rumor, a
How is
false
this
slander.
garbage when the guy that is
It's
in
taken
charge?
out of context.
No, no,
Okay,
no, no. He
look at the
fully.
context. He said that the reason he said that is because of examples like Rahab in the Old Testament, where she lied to protect the spies from the people in Jericho who were going to kill them. Okay, so if let's say somebody broke into your house and put a gun, was wielding a gun, saying, where's your family? Or where's your friends? Or someone that you knew was vulnerable that it was your job to protect. Would you lie in that situation to
No,
protect their life?
that has nothing to
That's
do with anything.
it
He's
has everything to do with what Will Duffy said in that quote. Do not take it out of context. That is lying.
that what when he said that, that had nothing to do with telling little white small lies to people to protect them. He
Yes,
was
it
already
did.
he was
NiCO, you
already
are taking
in.
it out of context. You're just
He was
denying the
no,
context.
but
I
when
have
did
spoken to him personally about that. Do not take it out of context.
he was in the middle of planning this final experiment. They were pretty much weeks away from performing this hoax.
He
So they
was preaching
the
a
fact
sermon
that
at his church. That's his
yeah,
weekly job.
setting up and prepping people and himself for the lies that he was about to get
Oh my
involved
gosh.
with.
NiCO,
Uh,
God rebuke you for this. You know that you're lying right now. You're just taking the context away and putting in your own context to change the meaning.
You
That
put in
is,
your own presentation, your 10-minute presentation about lying and how God does hates that, and yet you're here defending someone that says it's okay and inherently.
inherently not sinful. That is what he said. Inherently not sinful. That
What
means
he did
neutral.
was a huge sin. The deception he pulled to create a fake
Says
sun, a
you.
fake 24-hour sun in the
You have
south.
yet to substantiate that. You have yet to provide one piece of evidence for that. You are
The
making allegations with no evidence. That
evidence
is
is all
slander.
there. This has been happening time and time again in this last century, the 20th century, 21st century, but more in particular last century, with the formation, with all these experiments, with all these operations that when technology was starting to get up there and we got steam trains and cars and planes and boats and all these expeditions started taking place, and these people found things, and only government agents and Freemasons were able to go on these expeditions, like Ernest Shackleton back in 1904. He was one of the first in that century to take an expedition to Antarctica. That expedition was called the Nimrod expedition, as in Nimrod, the king of Babylon, the first antichrist after the flood that rebelled against God and vowed to build a tower big enough to reach the firmament, an actual solid dome, and break through it. So, and then that was long before Richard E. Byrd went to the North Pole. So more stuff that proves they found biblical prophecy and decided to hide it. It wasn't normal, regular people that were able to go on these expeditions. It was governments. It was Freemasons. We know that Admiral Byrd was a 30th Master Mason. He went to the North Pole, and what they found was the Garden of Eden, and they've hid it. So that's why on all maps you just have this big ice blanket over the North Pole, like there's nothing there, but there is 4 lands there. There's a river that runs through all 4 of them, as described in the Holy Bible and biblical text of Eden. So it is here on our earth in the north, and it's hidden. Once they found that, they traveled to the South Pole, which is when you get Operation High Jump, all those operations that took place to get up the 200 foot climb to get onto the landmass. And then when if you can read the journals, you can see what happened there. You can find out that there were accidents with planes hitting some sort of barriers as they flew more south. There was a point that they hit something, and as soon as someone died on this operation, they stopped it, returned back to the USA, and everything was kept quiet until they started forming Antarctic treaties, until Admiral Byrd died, and then NASA was formed, all within the exact same 3 years after those expeditions. So these were operations that hid Bible prophecy, and now we're stuck trying to do these debates now because all the people in control and charge of the science, of all the journals, of the education, of the government that have the information, they're keeping it from the masses. And I'm going to tell you right now, the firmament is there. Everything the Bible says is the truth. Pastor Will Duffy is
Bible
no
doesn't say any of
pastor
that.
of a church or of the Bible. So whatever church he's at is not the church that
Okay, stop,
teaches
stop,
our
stop.
Bible.
That's slander. Okay. You are telling me right now, if I understand you correctly, you're telling me that because my friend happens to disagree with your conspiracist narrative that you have no evidence for, therefore you can slander him.
Very
That
much
because
so.
he
It's not slander, it's telling the truth as it is. Will Duffy said he's ready to go on this experiment and lie about everything, and it's going to
he
be
said no such thing. Where the freak are you getting that?
all the footage we've seen. We've
No,
too
stop.
many
Where did you
tapes
get that?
from this
Where did
year.
you get that? Did you
So we
just
can play. I'll
misquoted
bring
him?
the video back up.
Yes, please do. He never
Bring it
said
back
that.
up, go through this. We'll definitely go back a bit and see. So this is a
No,
video.
we already
put
saw the
together by-
first part of that video. Spare us the suffering.
Oh, I messed up. Sorry.
Go ahead and play the ad if you need to, whatever.
So what's in it for me is, again, I've said this multiple times, is I'm helping humanity.
Oh, you're not. He wants to help humanity.
I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral. That wasn't clear. Sometimes a lie or deceit are not only necessary, but they are the right thing to do. I have not seen.
Will Duffy honoring his true master, Satan?
So he
Okay,
said it's
that did not
okay to lie.
substantiate the quote you just.
Well, yes, it did.
No,
There's
you
nothing
just
coded
said-
about the way he said that.
You-
he just
NiCO,
said it's
NiCO,
okay to lie to
NiCO.
protect someone.
You just said that Will Duffy said he was preparing to lie to everyone about TFE, and then you
Yeah.
played a quote that was taken out of context and had nothing to do with TFE and did not
It wasn't
substantiate your
taken out- He
misquote.
even made sure it wasn't taken out of context by saying one more time. He even fully said, he reiterated that statement and says it is okay to lie. So those people that he's lying
You're
to
taking it out of
protect them-
context. I just gave you the context and you threw it away. You tried to substitute your own context. Watch the full video. Have you watched his full sermon?
Have
Or
you
did you?
seen any of the debunking that we have done in the community?
Yes,
of
I
this
have.
whole
It's all
experiment?
complete garbage. It
How?
all amounts.
So you're gonna say there's nothing? Have you? Okay.
It all amounts to you just misunderstanding things. That's what it amounts to. Okay? It's complete garbage. I'm not exaggerating. There is not one atom of merit to it. It's complete garbage. And you are using that to substantiate lying about my friend.
Your friend is on the chopping block by everyone in the community. We have Edward
Everyone in your
Hendry.
cult community.
It's
NiCO,
not
can't
a
you
cult.
see you're in a cult?
So
It's a
Edward
cult.
Hendry, I'm
You're
bringing up this
insane.
website right here. He has done some amazing information and pretty much
Yeah, I just
compiled-
read an article from this website just a couple of hours ago. The guy just doesn't understand photography. And who knows what all else. I only read one article of this. But every debunk of the TFE I've ever seen so far is just somebody either not misunderstanding something or just like digging around for conspiracy theory scraps.
No, it's not. This is well put together. It is
Okay,
all.
show me one good example from it. One.
So how do you explain when the sun? Hold on, I'm trying to find the clip. So, okay, let's look at this fake cloud in the sky. I don't know if it's going to show. Is this sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. How do you explain? So this is from Jaren's GoPro. I think it's supposed to be at like 2:43 was the timestamp. Yeah. So check out this as they go outside. So this footage. So there's a cloud at the top of the sky. I think it's a W shape. And as Jaren's walking towards the portal balls over there, I mean, just make sure this is the right timestamp.
You're looking for that debunking website. It might be the black favicon next to Wikipedia there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't find the timestamp. Oh,
Oh no, it's the okay.
2:34 mark. Sorry, 2:34.
Okay, looking for a W-shaped cloud.
Yeah, give me a sec. This video, just need to get it to the mark. There we go. So there it is. This W-shaped cloud is fake.
Oh, you gotta be kidding
That's
me.
how you prove and see. And this is coming from Edward Hendry. So we just got it from his website. So you're going to see Jaren's walking, and you don't tell me you can't see this. You can already see that cloud is now in this corner up here. Look, it's starting to move abnormally. Look at it as it's tracking with the camera. Watch it. Look at it. Oh boy, did you not see the way that this tracked down like that? So again, this is taken
What
from.
are you talking about? I did not see that. No.
How has it gone from being so high up in the sky to just above this from the
What are you talking about?
So yeah, this is.
What are you talking about? It didn't even move. It
So
didn't even move.
You're going to tell me you did not see this cloud just move. Unbelievable.
I didn't.
So anyway, everyone else, you can all see it here in the chat. So let me know if you were able to see.
Okay, so
clouds,
you think that justifies you slandering my friend?
It's
You
not
think
slander.
that
Your friend
justifies
has
you
put
slandering my friend?
out information that is fake, and we here have looked
He
at it.
did not.
Nothing is acceptable. So
You
this,
have not established that.
If Earth was a globe, Peter, and if there was a real 24-hour sun, why did they need to fake it? Why did they need to do sermons to give themselves more confidence to go and do this lie? You know what I mean? So
that didn't happen.
That's just one video.
That just didn't happen. It happened in your brain only, in your cult dogma only. It's not real. It's not real, NiCO.
Yeah, so you guys have got a lot of work to do to keep this stuff suppressed because we're coming harder and
you got a lot of work to do to justify your slander against my friend, NiCO. That's what's happening right now.
Duffy knows everything I've said. I'm pretty open.
Oh yeah, I know he does.
And he's
what's he gonna do about it? There's a crowd slandering him. Besides, he accomplished his goal.
What can he do? He's just gonna what goal? He didn't accomplish anything. He got footage, he generated some hype over the new Netflix movie, a documentary that's going to come out about this nonsense featuring none other than Globe Shield Jarenism, right? So it's all fake.
The fact that you guys are so ready to just devour your own if they go against the cult dogma, it's showing that is what Will Duffy accomplished more than anything else. And that has been extravagantly successful because you've done it multiple times just now in this conversation. You have participated in the devouring of other flat earthers just because they go against the dogma. How do you think that looks, NiCO?
Just the dogma. It's going up against proof. It's going up against the ones that are obviously paid for or controlled opposition.
Obviously paid for. How do you
Can they go
establish that?
somewhere and put out the footage that they put out and not expect us to go through everything frame by frame,
Of course.
pick it apart? And it didn't take us long to find all the
NiCO,
discrepancies.
NiCO, what you don't
and-
realize here is that your act of picking it apart shows how warped a standard of evidence you have. It shows that you're in a cult. You're not self-aware about this. It shows that you do not understand what you're picking apart.
Cults don't get that kind of attention where people put money into funding things to challenge a cult.
Oh my God.
That kind of stuff
So
doesn't
before
happen.
TFE, the excuse was, okay, we're too much of an oppressed minority to get any funding to actually do any experiments. Then after TFE, it's, oh, we don't like if we're not a cult because we couldn't have gotten this much attention. You can't have it both ways, NiCO.
No. I've watched this movement grow since I woke up to it back in 2016. I've been through all the debates and all the trolls online on every bloody platform that is, and I've seen all the the smear campaigns come out against Flat Earth and anyone that's been involved, and it hasn't stopped people from waking up. So in 8 years, from 2016 to 2024, which is when this experiment took place, it went from just a small, say, 1,000 people back in 2016 to over 1 million in 2024. And all the propaganda, all the funded stuff against it did not work. People have been waking up. So this is where Duffy comes in now, with NASA hired this guy and whatever. This whole
Stop your slander. Just stop it.
And scenario. I'm not falling for it. You've clearly fallen for it, right?
Fallen for it. I proved using my own equipment in my own resources in 2019. I think like 2-3 years before I even, or wait, no, it was 4 years. 4 years before I even heard Will Duffy's name. I proved that the sun goes below the horizon using my own personal experiment. That was enough to prove a globe. Sunset plus time zones equals globe. You saw that Venn diagram. Flat Earth is falsified.
How can you say that? So you're saying you saw the sun go below the horizon. Do you know how that sounds or what that
I proved
means?
that it does not move away from us. It goes below. That's how it disappears. It goes behind the horizon.
8 inches per square mile curve has never been proven.
I'm not even talking about 8 inches per mile
So
squared of
how can the
curve.
sun go below a horizon of a world that does not curve?
That's a great question, NiCO. That's a great question. All right, I'm going to share my screen to show you the footage or the results of my personal experiment. Which file is this?
All right, while you find that file, I'm just going to address the chat here. Thank you guys all so much for being here. If you guys could go ahead and hit that like button, I do appreciate you guys partaking in the poll. I hope NiCO can hear. The poll is, who will be the most persuasive? It was Peter Markley at 56%, King NiCO at 4%, and the bottle of whiskey in my freezer got 40%. All right, so I appreciate you guys voting in that poll. So we're gonna go ahead and end that poll, guys. Get your questions in. Q&A starts in about 10 to 20 minutes. So get your questions in. Either tag me or send in super chats. Super chats get the priority, but you don't have to super chat to get your question asked. All right, and we're back off.
So you can you see my screen here? You're muted, NiCO.
Yeah, I see variable spacing. So yeah, that's perspective. Obviously, that man is not shrinking. And then you've got fixed spacing. So
the fixed spacing is what I measured of sunset. That was over the course of 3 hours.
So I understand the variable spacing, and that pretty much makes sense. But okay, you got to explain this fixed spacing now.
It's not perspective. That's it. That's all there is to explain. It's not moving away from us. It's moving down.
So what I see is the sun. No. So the sun is coming towards us, or is it going? So obviously it's
It's
going.
just going down and sideways, obviously, like,
So
it's
is this a
diagonal.
sunset or a sunrise?
It's a sunset. And I've overlaid two cameras that were sitting side by side. One had a piece of welding glass in front of it, and that's why you see this dark, like this sharp line between like normal image of day and then, this black background. So it's the same sun, but you see how much like enormous glare there was when it was exposed evenly for the environment versus with the welding glass. So that's why I did this. But anyway, the
No, it's
point
not
is,
going down. No, it is doing the variable spacing image. It is moving across. I don't see it moving as in a downward motion.
how hard did you have to squint and tilt your head to avoid seeing the fact that it goes down?
With
It's
PID.
so obvious. It's
But
going
you already
down.
have the debunk right next to it in variable spacing.
That's
Obviously, it
not a
looks like
debunk. That's
the guys,
perspective.
it
This
looks
is
like
not perspective.
it's the same perspective. It's just that
No, it's not.
the camera's too low to look. The camera angle and the variable spacing is at the bottom of the guy's
It
foot.
has nothing to do with camera angle,
No,
NiCO.
I
That
think
is
if
not how perspective works. I spent 6 years in art school. I know how perspective works.
but it is
I
working
have
the
a
same way. I can just see if the camera is a bit higher up in the sky, you will see that the sun is not going down below the horizon. You will see that it's moving further away. So
no,
higher the
that's
camera
not
goes, you'll
correct.
see the sun will rise with it too to match the
That's not
horizon.
correct, NiCO. You are speculating to make a magical rescuing device to save your worldview from this evidence, and I'm telling you that your speculation is wrong. It does not set by moving away from us.
This doesn't mean anything. It's a flat image. It's
Oh
really
my
hard to
gosh.
tell because there's so much involved with the height of the sun. Like look, talking about thousands of
Watch,
feet
watch,
compared to
audience, watch how repellent to evidence he
No,
is.
no, no, no. Look,
This is the
how
evidence of
can
a
this
cult.
be compared? Look, of course it's going to look like it's going down compared, and you have this variable space, and this person is like 5'6", right? The sun come to
Five
the
foot nine,
ground,
or well, actually 5 foot
right?
10. That's me
Okay,
in the
5'10", there you are. You're like only less than 6 foot from the ground. The sun is
It
clearly more
doesn't
than six
matter.
foot from the ground,
It
right?
doesn't matter, NiCO.
It does
The
kind of
angles
matter.
and distances and sizes do not matter. Perspective always works the same way. If something is moving away horizontally, it will get smaller and the spacing will vary. That's how perspective works. It does not matter the variables that you're talking about. I could show you a diagram. I could show you the geometry, the math. It doesn't work. Okay, let's see. Where's it? Here's, yeah, so this is, you see this little stick figure guy, that's the observer or the camera, okay? And the vertical position in your image is going to be the inner angle here, represented as alpha, of this right triangle. You see, this sun, represented by these like this starburst pattern, if it's moving away, shifting from the red to the green to the blue, then the adjacent leg of the triangle, represented here as D, is going to get longer, but we're saying that H is constant, right? So that means that alpha, the inner angle, is going to vary by an arctangent function, which is not a linear function. That's what this would look like, but that's not what sunset looks like. So this does not represent sunset. It cannot. This is just false. The sun does not do this.
If the sun was going down, it would make the land below it a lot brighter. So the day would just become a more day on a sunset, right?
You're
But it
assuming
doesn't.
that it gets closer to the ground.
Well, that's what you're trying to say is that it's
No,
becoming
I'm trying
lower
to
and
say,
lower, but the
NiCO, that it's
light
a
is not getting
globe.
brighter and brighter as it gets
NiCO,
lower.
NiCO, I'm trying to say it's a globe. This proves this plus time zones means it's a globe, because if the sun is moving downward at 15 degrees per hour, and it's because the earth is a globe and it's spinning, then if you it's going to keep doing that at different times for every location on Earth constantly. And if you move 800 miles east or west, then you're going to see that process shift by an hour. Or well, I think that was the math.
So what you're saying, so where the sun is at the lowest point in this picture here, where it's right there at the bottom and it's really red. So you're saying somewhere else on the globe, after it's curved, that sun doesn't appear to be red. It appears to be 12 p.m. in the afternoon somewhere, right? But what we're
Yes.
seeing, we're looking at a sun from this angle, and that's what, and someone else is seeing but I mean, this whole ball earth thing is ridiculous. You guys are the ones creating the science to enforce your cartoon NASA Disney belief system. It's just this, it's lost.
Okay. Laughing at it isn't an argument, NiCO. And may I remind you, the Bible does not say one way or another whether it's flat or a globe, which means this is what we have to do to understand what God created. We have to use our brains that He gave us and use our eyes that He gave us. That's what this is. That's what science is. You can laugh at it all you want, you can deny
Yeah,
it all you want, but
I
that's
know
what's
what
going on.
science is. Science is, um, it's oh God, it's experiments, right? So they use the science that makes sense here, like speed, distance, weight, right? And they apply that to a fake existence and create the science to fit a fake existence. So it seems real.
What are you
But they're
talking
talking
about?
about light years and distances and mass of Jupiter. Like you guys are just crazy. How do they
What are
measure?
you talking about?
I'm talking about the science you keep referring to that's enforcing this
Okay,
belief
what about the science that's on my screen?
that proves the Earth is flat and not
No,
moving.
it doesn't. It proves that the sun goes below us, which if you believe in time zones, that the only option left is it's the globe. And if we're gonna doubt time zones here, then you could just
No,
uh,
time zones prove that the sun doesn't set. The sun
yeah,
remains in the sky all the time, right?
in someone's sky, but not mine. It's dark out right now where I am in real life because the sun's below me. It's above someone else's horizon, but it's below mine because our horizons are tilted to one another due to curvature. It's a globe.
So that means that, so how the hell if according to that belief system with the tilt and the sun and the globe spinning, that you just pretty much debunked TFE for me, right? Because that's
No, I
impossible to
didn't.
have a 24-hour sun in the South Pole
No,
at the bottom in the southern hemisphere.
it's just a matter of where you are on the ball
Yeah,
and in relation to its
conveniently.
axis.
So without the tilt, the rest of the world would be in darkness, right? If there was a 24-hour sun
No,
in
without the tilt,
Africa.
then you'd have no locations that experienced 24-hour sun or 24-hour night. But you'd have like equal night and day at all locations on Earth. It would be an eternal equinox, basically. You know what it's like on an equinox, March 21st or September 21st? It would be like that all year round.
That doesn't work. It works on a flat Earth though, with the seasons and the time zones and the
That was a
equation.
hypothetical scenario anyway, but it's
Yeah,
true.
but
I don't know what you're talking about.
it's hypothetical, but it's pretty much the belief system and the science behind the globe.
What are you talking about?
But then you add a tilt into it to make it fit your
We
nonsense.
add a tilt in because that's what we observe. Will Duffy and Michael Toon and the rest of TFE went down to Antarctica. They observed a tilt.
Cool.
They measured it. That was science. That was exploring God's creation, using our brains that God gave us. You can laugh at it all you want, but that's what God put us here to do. Well, it's one of His commands that you shall have dominion and stewardship over the earth. That partly means exploring and understanding it.
Yeah. But either
I
way,
don't.
these are some good diagrams here, so I'm glad you did bring them up because it was a great talking point for sure.
Okay, so to recap, you have no Bible verse supporting robotimism. You have no evidence that TFE was fake.
Even if it was just one, it's enough.
No, it wasn't enough.
It is enough. One is enough, more than enough.
You didn't have one.
There was one. We have the one.
No, you had a best that I've ever seen a Robothemus present, but it still failed. Because all it does is refer to a circuit.
That's all it needs to say.
No, the
Without that one
Bible.
verse, then maybe, you could come up with something. We have the verse. That's
Okay,
it.
NiCO.
Even
One
if
of the
we had,
things.
even if we had one verse that said the firmament one time, that would still be enough to run with this and be like, there's a
Yeah.
solid dome. But it's not just once. It's like over 100 times. It's more than enough,
No,
right?
no. Okay, so NiCO, there's an issue with interpretation here that you're not seeming to understand. If it, you I don't see you making an effort to understand and steel man the opposing view. Okay, put yourself in the shoes of someone who believes the earth is a globe, right? And then
Peter,
read Psalm
I've
19:4.
been there. You don't think I've been a
No,
globe?
I'm watching you fail to do this, so that's why I'm
I've
trying to
been
coach you on
there.
it.
I've done the globe thing majority of my life. It
Listen to me.
doesn't work. It's not what I
Listen to
see.
me.
It's not what we feel. And it's what the liars and the deceivers push. So if
Okay,
the
okay,
liars and
stop,
deceivers
stop,
are pushing it, that's when you start looking into something. Why are they pushing this so much? Why can't
stop.
anyone else experience or go there?
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Listen. It puts yourself in the shoes of someone who believes the earth is a globe, like me, and then read Psalm 19:4 and ask yourself, does this fit? Don't read it with your flat earth brain. Read it with a glober brain. See that there is a possible interpretation to support the opposing view, or at least to match the opposing view. If you've seen a Ferris wheel, you know a circuit can be vertical. I'm telling you the sun makes a circuit in the sky, but half the time it's below the earth from
Hey,
your
again,
point of view.
it's not below because Psalm 19:4 says
I'm
the
we
sun
don't
goes
want you to
through,
just
it goes
spit your dogma
through
again.
all the earth. It doesn't say it goes around the earth. Going through the earth means it's one open space. A globe is
Okay.
not one set open space. It doesn't fit. It doesn't work. It's not happening.
It's so you're resting your argument now on a preposition
Well, because
of
you
in a
haven't brought
translation.
anything to prove that there is a globe. So we're sitting at a standoff with, okay, you can't bring me back to the globe with your little diagrams that don't prove anything. It's not happening. I've got diagrams too that prove the flat earth, right? So the globe should have irrefutable proof, but it doesn't. And we
It
know that
does. It's just that
did.
you have a cult brain that can't see it.
No,
And
no.
and the thing is, I kind of respect and appreciate you so far because you seem to be honestly trying to listen to me at least to a certain extent. The barrier seems to be truly like the cognitive bias you have instead of guerrilla tactics like when I'm talking to most flat earthers. So kudos to you for that. I believe you're being genuine here.
Thank
But I there's still a disconnect which, unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be a way around that tonight, but I don't know. Good show.
It's been good. I have been listening. You've brought up some great things that I never looked into or heard for in a while, like robothemism. Like, good job for bringing that up and almost stumping me with that. But
Thank you.
it didn't last too long because the truth always prevails, and flat Earth, biblical flat Earth is the truth, and we're still prevailing. I gave you the chance to try and bring me back with this big got you moment with the globe Earth, but it's not happening. I've tried to do it for myself for many years. Yeah.
That sounds like a fictional story. I don't know what you're doing.
All right, awesome guys. Well, that was highly invigorating. So now we're just gonna do a quick send off. Then we have a few questions to ask for you guys. There's not a whole lot of questions, but we do have some. If you guys want to ask questions, guys, get them in tagged or super chats. They both work. I'll ask them all. So if you guys want to give your finishing statements, and we'll start with NiCO since you started off.
I guess I already cut into my closing statement by letting Peter know it was a good talk. He brought up some great points that did surprise me a bit, but I quickly looked into it, and he did explain it well, and everything went well. Not really anything that I'm in fear of being considered like, oh my God, I'm making myself look foolish here. No, I can't. Being a biblical flat earther, you cannot be made to look foolish because these globe earthers don't have the proof and the fire to back up that science to really crush. Like, that's why the whole TFE was brought up, because that's supposed to be the nail in the coffin for flat earth. It's the final experiment, which was, they pretty much would have been better off not doing that, because us biblical earthers aren't to be messed with when it comes to the science of the Bible compared to the science of NASA and these organizations that are clearly behind this kind of experiment, and people like Jaron and Austin and Duffy. But yeah, closing statements again. I think it went well. I'd love to see how, if anyone was swayed from one side to another and during this debate, and that's about it. And again, it's pretty much going to finish off as a standoff, and I look forward to, following up with Peter on this if he comes up with some more gotcha moments, and then yeah, let's do it. But thank you again, Mike. You're awesome. Love the Drunk Debunk show, so I appreciate you moderating and hosting this and sharing it to all your somewhat okay viewers and fans.
Well, we'll see how okay. You feel about them.
You guys are okay.
After Q&A. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, NiCO. All right, go ahead, Peter.
All right, so as we saw, NiCO is a sunset denier. I'm glad that he gave at least some consideration to the term robothemism. That was better than Flatsoid gave by a long shot. But ultimately, what's happening here is as we saw, he is willing to say, because your friend is a liar, because to fit my worldview, he has to be. And frankly, that's not Christian. That's bad fruit. Jesus said, you tell a tree by its fruit. Now, I'm not a judge of souls. Only God can judge souls. I would hope that NiCO does believe enough in the gospel of Jesus Christ that that God would forgive his sins. But NiCO, you got an audience here. I think your YouTube channel has about 100 times more subscribers than me, and you are sinning actively in the content you're putting on that channel to that audience. I hope you give that some consideration. I mean, every cult, I believe, at least if it's even remotely a Christian cult, does have some people who are just misled and may potentially believe enough in the gospel. They're genuine Christians. Again, I'm not a judge of souls, but NiCO's in a cult. There is absolutely no doubt about that. He demonstrated that abundantly tonight. And yeah, be careful out there, kids. Don't get sucked in.
We are on the right side of truth, the right side of history. And look at this. I got this quickly sent to me. I want to quickly read it.
You cutting into my opening statement for a last word?
Quickly, hold on. I'm sorry to cut in, but I had to jump in. Someone important gave me this and wanted me to read it out. It says, time zones are BS. Countries set them for themselves. So France, the French territory,
okay.
St. Pierre and Miquelon, for example, are half hour ahead of Newfoundland, despite being west of much of it. So typically, as you go east, it gets later. So people...
Yeah, it's arbitrary municipal and civil conventions, but I was using that as a term to refer to the fact that solar time differs with location. That's what I was referring to.
All right, we're gonna end that there. Peter, did you want to continue a closing statement?
Yeah, let him go. I'm sorry.
I was actually done, so it was good timing.
All right,
it was good timing.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. Peter, it was an honor to have you reach out to me. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we're gonna go over some super chats first. You guys need to take like a bathroom break or anything? Grab a drink or anything?
I gotta head out if that's okay.
Oh, you gotta head out? Okay. Oh
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
I'll tune in on my phone. I'll comment. I'll see what I could do. But yeah, I gotta head out right now. So.
What about all the super chatters who paid money?
Oh, no. And they're all for you, NiCO.
Oh no! Alan and Dominic did the same thing on MDD.
Let's hear a few then. I'm sorry.
All right. All right.
How can I say no to that?
All right. Icy Spin says for $1.99, NiCO smile if the Earth is a globe. I didn't see you smile. All right.
Good self-control there, Nico.
Monkey Cat Pat Pat, thank you for getting yourself a membership. Appreciate that. 3Ron says for $2, NiCO's lies are so pathetic, and that's all he has. So really quick, I'm gonna go over questions since you are in a rush here. These are kind of just how to deal with NiCO. For Darkstar 4400 said how to deal with NiCO. For $5 says how to deal with NiCO. Proverbs 23:9. Don't speak to fools; they will only ignore your wise words. I thought that was a question. My bad. Let's see. The 3Ron for $5 says NiCO, show the solid evidence now that says planes hit the fictional dome during Admiral Byrd's expedition. If you can't, it's an admission you lied. Now, no. I know you're in a rush. You can, if you want to send me an email or anything like that to send it 3Ron, I can definitely do that. But if you have anything to say about that right now.
Oh, it's all there to be seen. I've covered Admiral Byrd years ago, and I have to redo it again. But yeah, I've gone through everything he's ever said, everything he's ever written, his supposed missing diary. It's all explained in there. It's not hidden. It's not me just coming up here making stuff up. It's official. It's in the US and the British government documents. It's all there.
All right, beautiful. Tiles for $5 New Zealand says, good to see you again, NiCO. How's your wife and my kids? Oh, fucking A. All right, let's see. NiCO, why does the Alexandru for $24.99 Romanian lose says, NiCO, why does the moon look flipped when you're in southern hemisphere? How does that fit with the flat earth model?
Sorry, what was that? Say the question again, sorry.
Why does the moon look flipped when you're in the southern hemisphere? How does that fit with the flat earth model?
I've never been in the southern hemisphere to be able to see that for myself, but again, I know there's an explanation. It's all to do with the where you are positioned on the flat earth, looking at the moon or the sun, or if you can, because people in the southern hemisphere can't really see the northern star Polaris because they're a bit too far away, and just everything is distorted of the view of the stars and the constellations. And as you move in different places on the time zones within the map, you're going to get a different view, right? Because it's such a big earth and with such small people, it's going to just look different. But yeah, I don't think that's really answering the question for the moon, why it's flipped, but I'm sure it's all in there.
All right, then we have Monkey Cat Pat Pat for $5 says, NiCO, your thoughts on Jim Jones and Marshall Applewhite?
Jim Jones was a cult leader that led people to their deaths. What more about that? That has nothing to do with me. No one's being led to any death or being deceived by believing in the biblical flat earth.
The cult hasn't gone aggro so far.
This is from Valentine or Valentine. It says info for NiCO flurf.exe is not responding. That was for 199 euros. Thank you, or pounds. I don't know the difference yet. Hold on. Then we have from Twitch. We have Requiem for a Dream says, only question I have for NiCO is if he thinks TFE was fake, then what is stopping him from doing his own fundraiser and going there himself in December to observe himself?
Great question.
That was from Requiem for a Dream.
If you're willing to put up $100,000 in escrow, then Michael Toon will even pay for your trip if you turn out to be right.
Really? I didn't know that.
Absolutely. He's repeated it every time this comes up.
Nice.
With any flat earther. He just wants a free trip to Antarctica.
Sure. No, I'm not after any free trip. I already live in a cold nation. A free trip to Antarctica is not cool for me, but if it means, proving that Earth is what I know it is and what the Bible says, then bring it.
Well, just raise the money then. Get yourself going.
Yep.
Michael Toon's not hard to get a hold of.
That is true. He's very, very easy to get a hold of. NiCO, NiCO, wouldn't you lie if it could save a life, for example, to go back to what Will Duffy actually said from Davids? So basically what he's saying is that Will Duffy was just saying that it's okay to lie if you're saving someone's life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you do that?
I don't think that he should be even speaking about lying in that kind of context with the experiment that came up weeks after he spoke those words. So it's
That wasn't the context.
very distasteful. Just puts
He's a pastor. He preaches every week.
very distasteful. That's all I gotta say about that. Not doing him any favors, right? You don't preach about how good and inherently immoral to lie and then go perform this experiment. Yeah.
He was just preaching the truth from God's word. That's what he was doing faithfully every week as a pastor. And then the trip happened to be a few weeks later. That it's the cult brains that are taking meaning from that, the wrong meaning.
All right. Then we have Icy Spin says, NiCO, Peter has presented you some credible evidence that you just hand wave dismissed. What was wrong with Peter's evidence? Just saying perspective doesn't work.
That wasn't evidence. It was I told them there were very good diagrams that pretty much help prove Earth is flat and prove that what we see is just through perspective, right? So there were no big gotcha, aha, slam dunk moments with any of it that proved, it just.
Okay. Can you ask NiCO if he has personally done anything to... Oh, this is from Code with TD. Can you ask NiCO if he has personally done anything to test the shape of the Earth? And if so, what did he do and what was the result? If not, what would he do? So have you done any tests? If you haven't, What would you test?
Just my own living and walking and existing breathing experience. That's all you need to know that you're not spinning or moving or being shifted or hurtled through space.
Instead, experience does not disambiguate between models. That's an argument from ignorance fallacy.
I couldn't really, honestly, I have my stomach, I get upset stomach so easy. If we really lived on a spinning globe Earth, hurtling through space, I'd just be sick 24/7.
No, that's called velocitation. You can't feel any of that movement.
You should, or something.
Nope, that's just wrong.
The skies of the star constellations that don't move. So
that's just a straw man fallacy of the globe physics.
All right. Then we have, if we're to take the Bible as gospel, does that mean we can keep slaves? That's from John Suffel.
No.
No, we can't keep slaves, but it definitely feels like we are all slaves in this system.
The one correct answer you give, and you have to follow it up with something gross like that.
All right. I apologize. I'm just rushing through these. I know you want to address these two, Peter.
Where are we going?
All right, really quick. NiCO, why do the stars at the North Pole spin the opposite direction from the stars on the South Pole? I think I lost them.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, that's all right. So the star trails at the North Pole differ from the star trails or rotate the opposite direction in the South Pole. What we're looking for is a reason for that.
Okay. If you're in the North Pole and you're looking at, and there's someone like that's thousands and thousands of kilometers away, of course it's gonna look different. And I don't understand what they're trying to get and think they're gonna see and experience if what I'm telling you is real, but that's not really how it goes.
It's the fact that the entire sky seems to rotate in a different orientation when you're in the southern hemisphere. That's what they're asking. If you imagine a celestial sphere around your vantage point, then the axis of spin runs through that sphere at 2 points, the north and the south, and the stars spin around those points.
I know what you're getting at. Basically, what they're trying to say is, if the Earth is, if there is a container over it, we should see from one side all the way to the other side. If you're standing,
that's not exactly the question.
You're not really going to see the dome and the constellations and the
That's-
stars all the way
No, that's not the
outside
question.
of Earth, right? You're going to see only what the eyes, well, we can only see what, 7 miles ahead of us before.
That's not exactly the question they were asking.
Yeah.
The question they were asking is if you're in northern latitudes, you see stars spin around the North Pole in one direction, but that then if you head south and the south celestial pole comes into view, you see the stars spin around that pole
Yeah.
in the opposite direction.
I need to look into that again, but of course, people have their own experience and interpretations of what they're seeing. We know that people go on commercial airline flights all the time and think they're looking at curvature out the airplane window. I've been on an airplane, I've never seen no curvature outside the window. So it's what and how people interpret what they see compared to what their mind is trying to tell them because they went to school and school told them this, so they're looking for what, and then they just create it and pretend they see that to help enforce the knowledge and the crap that's been given to them by liars.
All right. Let's see. We have we have some more super chats. Jack Fetter for $5 says, NiCO, one day you will sadly realize how much of your life was wasted on this crazy. It is obvious and easily provable. Your arguments are just silly. And then we have NiCO, or Mark W for £2 says, NiCO, why do you lie so much? Is it for attention?
Clearly I'm not lying, and clearly the attention I'm getting is not the attention anyone wants. So I'm not doing this because it's fun. I'm doing it because it's the truth and it needs to get out there in a world where, you know, everything's upside down. Good is bad, bad is good.
No, only the southern half is upside down.
Okay. And then we have I have one more, and then I'll let you go. NiCO, if you're traveling 60 miles per hour down the road and a fly flies from the back to the front of the car, is the fly traveling faster than 60 miles per hour?
Wow. No, fly is not. Well, that's crazy. So the fly is not is moving in space and time, but it itself and its travel velocity in that space is not matching that of the car, even though it's within it. You understand? It's crazy.
It's actually a concept called Galilean relativity, and there's two answers.
That's cool. Say that again.
Galilean relativity.
Oh, Galilean.
As opposed to Einsteinian relativity.
Okay.
This is simpler.
And then there's Copernican. Oh my God, these guys. Don't even get me started with those guys. That's for another debate for sure.
Perfect. Well, schedule it. You know my email. All right. So that's all the questions I have for you, NiCO. Because all the rest are kind of just insults, and I know you got somewhere to go. So, do you want to listen to the insults, or do you have to go?
You can play them. I'll watch them back later on. I'm not gonna sit here for them, that's for sure. Yeah.
Congrats for being a better sport than Alan and Dominique on MDD.
No, it takes time. Whether people are putting in insults or not, I appreciate it all. Some of them are actually funny, and I might steal some of them and use them in my own repertoire of insulting people when it's necessary. So yeah, teach me something new, guys. Share them out.
Really quick, last one. Mark W for £2 says, NiCO, did you win or lose this debate?
But like I said, I feel like it came to a standoff. But that standoff is finishing at 51-49. So yeah, I won by pretty much a percent. Like if I give it that. So
all right.
That's more generous than most flat earthers out there.
A win's a win, right? A win's a win. I'm not gonna come out here and be like, yes, I destroyed you. I came with
That's what most flat earthers do.
But technically,
literally,
the Bible and stuff, I did win, but we'll call it 51-49.
All right,
awesome. I'll
awesome.
take it.
All right, NiCO, thank you so much for being on the show, man. You've been on all of my debate episodes, so I appreciate you being. I've only done 3, and you've been all of them. So if you know anybody else who's looking for a good platform to debate on, let them know.
I think Globeface wants to debate me next week. So
all right, I'll be the moderator for that. Just I'll reach out to Globey, you reach out to me, and we'll get that.
in my emails. So yeah.
Awesome.
I think he contacted Katz, but he's in a complete different time zone.
Yeah.
So that might not work for us, but I told him to reach out to you as well. So.
Perfect. All right, cool.
Guys.
All right, thank you, NiCO. Have a good night. All right. Peter, hello. Welcome to the Drunk Debunk Show.
I couldn't let Max have all the fun.
Well, that was fantastic. You obviously you did what you do best, man. It was just
thank you.
really good. So we're gonna read the rest of these super chats because they're absolutely amazing, and some of them are for you.
Okay.
So really quick, Bob gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Bob, for those gifted memberships. I appreciate that. Bob for $5 says NiCO is doing the devil's bidding, making Christianity look insane. I agree with that. You know,
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm. Smitty's Music Tavern for $2 says nothing. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Smitty's. 3 Ron says for $5, NiCO is an obvious agent of lies. It's been shown, and everything he has said is now dismissed and debunked. That's what threw me off a little bit, Pete, is that he was bringing up like old argument points, like the whole, inherently lying is okay and all that kind of stuff. Like that's all been beaten to death, I feel like, at this point.
That one got me especially angry. I hope I didn't come across too out of control.
No, you were
It's just like, this
You're
is
fine.
my friend, and they're being so vicious and vile. And anyway,
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they're just gonna use whatever they can to because when you run out of stuff, you gotta rehash recycled garbage. So, Smitty's Music Tavern for $2 says he is hoping to fleece the ignorant. I'm assuming that's to NiCO. That's about NiCO. Let's see, who else did I miss? Artful Junior for $2 says NiCO the sodomite blasphemer. Shake my head. Science is bad. In quotations. Then I have Eric Langner for. Oh my God, Eric! This guy, he is just an amazing human being. He says it's officially past 9. We talked about this, Mike. I told you I have an early start tomorrow, and you promised to keep it down up there. Also, it's your turn to empty the damn dishwasher. I'm not doing it again for you. So Eric. So the story with Eric, if you don't know, Peter, is he was the first ever Drunk Debunk Show fan to recognize me out in public. So yeah, so what happened was I stalked him so I could get a picture with him, and then I kidnapped him, and now he lives in my basement. So that's why
I hope that's all headcanon. Do I need to?
No, put that phone away. IC Spin for $2 says, Chef, I'll have my NiCO well done, please. Burn it. Artful to Junior for $2 says, the only important question is dearth or potato. I don't know.
I feel like I should be a little bit fair to NiCO here. And no offense to Max, but I don't think it's fair to call NiCO a sodomite, because I heard the clip and it sounded like he wasn't saying, yes, I have gotten a blowjob. I don't think that's what he said. But I understand the perspective that he just deserves the teasing anyway. Just saying.
I love it. I will copy you. Trust me, you're on my list. All right. And then Icy Spin for $5 gives a GG super sticker. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Oh yeah, I already read that. A Bates for $5 says, I took a shot every minute that NiCO was an intellectually bankrupt loser, and I'm as pissed at a cricket. Not much blood in the alcohol streams. Thank you, A Bates. Silent Day for $2 Canadian says, great job cooking, NiCO, Peter.
Thank you.
A Bates for $5 says, you missed my other super chat. That's back 3. Yeah, no, I I saw it. I just, I was trying to rush through them. Jack Feder for $5 says, I literally saw smoke from his ears with the fly in the car question. It debunked his own argument for feeling movement and speed of rotation.
You know what? It just occurred to me what Max is doing with the calling him a sodomite is basically what NiCO is doing to Will Duffy with saying he says lying is okay. So yeah, maybe.
Oh man, I was so happy when Cuppy asked that question. It was so great. And then she went on to explain it. She said, "Speed is relative in which the condition exists. The fly doesn't know it's moving at 60 miles per hour." Oh,
Yep,
I have to play this clip. Really quick. Cuppy Cake 629 over on Twitch, because I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube, just so you know that. She says, please tell Peter that he did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, she's quite the amazing human being herself. Let's see. So I'm gonna play this clip real quick. Live chat. All right, this might be a little loud. But this isn't a clip. Wait, what'd you say, Max? I will play the clip. This is just so Peter, there's gonna be an after show over on
Max messaged me.
Yeah.
I'm planning to join.
Beautiful. I will be there as well because this is Friday night. We party on Friday nights.
And it's always fun to hang out with Max. He's such a fun dude.
Dude, that's an understatement for sure. Play the clip. I don't know what. Oh, he said he received a blowjob. He's a sodomite. Oh, here we go. Here's the clip. I think he had it on copy paste.
Just to be clear, I do not endorse using that term for anyone who's had a blowjob. I'm just to be clear.
we get it. It was just to be to make a point. I get it. All right. Do you see? Oh wait, no. I need to put this over. Gosh, dang it! I am such a noob at this still. So bear with me. What do you see, Peter? Do you see FTFE and his magnificence in here?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Is that just somebody who looks like him or what?
No,
is it Photoshop?
It is Photoshop, yes. He's not actually on the ISS. This threw me for a loop myself. All right, so
it's a good Photoshop.
It is. It really. I think it's just a green screen. I think you can just go to like well, I didn't share with audio.
What really sells it is the fact that he's like, is that his arm hanging onto something?
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, honestly, it looks like a dog toy, but yeah, no, this is. I think like if you go visit like a NASA museum, you can get your picture taken and make it look like you're on the ISS or something.
Yeah. So the green screen studio, in other words, is configured specially to fit with the background. That's what really sells it. Yeah.
But I mean. But this was years ago, so but now we have the volume and stuff like that. So it's so that's what was faked with the TFE. All right, we're gonna play this clip real quick. It's 40 seconds.
Oh, yes, Sodomite. I can actually think
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yes, and I actually suspect that you might be a Sodomite too.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually pretty.
Yes.
I'm pretty well known over here.
Have you ever received a blowjob?
For giving handjobs
I
in gas
pretty
stations.
much took on the LGBT and drag
Have
queens
you ever
and the Soji curriculum here,
have you
so-
ever received a blowjob?
Yeah, so where?
You are a sodomite. Thank you very much.
What a
Dude,
sodomite.
this is so easy. That's
The
sodomy.
Hey,
That
Oh,
is
really?
sodomy.
Yeah, so when I heard that, I kind of thought that he was just saying yeah as a meaningless interjection, meaning like moving on. But I guess that's just my naive, generous interpretation. Maybe he was actually, but whatever. I mean, who cares? It's just
Neither here nor
But
there. He is.
I think Max's point was showing like hypocrisy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right. There we go. All right, so we got 3 Ron for $5 says, Peter, sodomy is any sex not directly attempting procreation. Oh. I sodomized myself. Oh, never mind. No, so sorry.
That does not agree with any meaning that I have ever understood the term to have, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Ultimately, it's just a label, you know.
Yeah, I got you. All right, we have Cupcake says maybe what we need to do is attack Flat Earth as a cult, explain what a cult is, how it works, and how it brainwashes people. Maybe NiCO has a misunderstanding of what a cult consists of.
NiCO has a misunderstanding of a lot of things. Just straight up.
I didn't mean to scoff that hard. And then Monkey Cat Pat Pat says we're wearing the same hoodie. Monkey Cat Pat Pat bought my Drunk Debunk Show hoodie. I love it. Does this NiCO think the whole damn world has? Oh, I missed that one, Aldebrand. I'm so sorry. Music says, can you ask these two to do a series of these following up the previous discussion? I think NiCO can be reached with careful reason over time. What do you think of talking to NiCO again? I mean, you guys were pretty civil. It was a good conversation.
Yeah, honestly, I was impressed, honestly, with him. Like most, I would say like well over 90% of my interactions with flat earthers have been like buried in guerrilla tactics. And it was really kind of a shock at first. Like these people are incapable of like, you know, if they have any like notoriety or like prominence in the community. Obviously, there's lesser ones that, but anyway, NiCO seems to me so far like he's more on the level of like a rank and file flat earther who's genuinely tricked by this stuff. Just judging from the level of genuine consideration and listening that he showed for my arguments. He tried. It seemed to me like he tried to listen. And of course, then the cognitive dissonance caused the cognitive bias to kick in. But he tried, and that is impressive to me. So it tells me that his prominence has outpaced his initiation into the darker side of the cult. And so maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I certainly would love to believe that. And given how tonight went, I would absolutely love to talk to NiCO more if he wanted to.
Awesome.
I didn't expect to say that at the end of this.
I kind of did because I've talked to him a lot, and I mean he's like he's not your typical flurf. Like on his live streams, like he'll come off as aggressive and like you are the resistance, you know, we are, you know, and then just go off on gematria and all that kind of stuff. But then once you get him like to sit down and talk with you, it's like I could go out and have a beer with you. Like if we didn't talk about this stuff, I would actually probably have a chill time talking with him.
Right. Yeah, it's just the what I keep coming back to is the slander. You know, and I really don't think he sees it that way, which is obviously a problem because it's doing real harm in the world.
Right.
And he does have a real audience, but that's the terrible thing about the social media age is that it's given us excuses to dehumanize others and to not have a real cognizance of the impact that we're having. So like I believe that he's probably ignorant of the harm that he's doing on some level.
Right.
And yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at his numbers though, I mean, they're like, yeah, he has a sub count, but he doesn't have the view count. So it's like, I don't know.
Always a lot of it Globers, maybe.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing is that, because I mean, I'm sub to him, right? And but then it's kind of like Flatzoid, or I'm sorry, for Catzoid. Max actually called you out in chat for pronouncing his name incorrectly.
Oh, sorry. I'll own that.
so shit, I forgot what I was going with that. But oh my god,
the Globers subbing to.
Oh yeah. It's the same thing as for Catzoid. Like because he'll have like 120, 130 viewers per stream. But there's only like 5-6 people chatting, and all the rest is just people they're just laughing at him or just watching him for content. That's me. I'm watching him for content. Or It's Globers who are muted in his chat, so we don't actually see them all chatting, right?
Oh,
Like me and all 4 of my sock accounts.
oh boy.
Oh shoot. CK actually he's calling NiCO out on drinking juice boxes. I was gonna make a joke about that, but did you see he was drinking juice boxes? I thought that was funny.
NiCO?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, he was drinking. Not that it matters. It's not a judgment of character, but I just thought it was funny. All right, we have another super chat. Oh, whoops, I fucked up. Oh, I always screwed up. Oh, I broke it. Okay. One God is Nowhere for $5 says Markley was awesome, and NiCO did better than all 12 flat earthers combined in the Flat Earth Damage Control podcast earlier today. Man, I gotta watch that. Did you know what he's talking about? The 12 flat earthers?
I don't. I'm aware of a few different flat earth communities that are still doing damage control, but I don't know which specific one he's talking about.
Dude, just watching the big names drop like flies is it's poetic. It is just so nice. It's like what a time to be a debunker in this community.
Right. I told Will Duffy, like, you just basically broke open the pinata and now it's just raining candy for all the Globers.
It's so good. It is
But
so
like
good.
that power vacuum is why NiCO has the attention he has now.
Right.
I think it's really interesting.
Well, that's why I have the attention that I have, because I was just doing this stuff like I wasn't promoting or anything like that, and then all of a sudden I put a flatsoid video out. I've been putting out flat earth stuff for almost a year, and then all of a sudden in December, boom! Like I went from 34 subs to now I'm at almost 1,800 subs. And it's like,
nice.
Oh shit! Like, and like I have 142 people right now. I would be lucky on YouTube if I got like 3 views on a live stream. So like it's crazy because you know people are just so interested in seeing all the different aspects of this ridiculous like mindset that's just so entertaining to watch. But now we get to watch it just crumble. You know, it is just so much fun. Jack Feder for $2 says, please play Flurf Dude song at next break. I have a Flurf Dude song? Or is it one of yours, Jack? Jay Donachie for $2 says, if flat, the earth would be 6 times bigger. Yeah, right? It would be huge.
Unless you subscribe to Stephen Alonso's Lorentz contraction.
Oh my
which
God.
basically means that it's a globe, but just looks flat if you look at it from above magically.
Dude, I was trying to follow that logic, and like as I'm watching this video, I'm like, okay, so if you're on the ground, it contracts. But if you go, the higher you go, the more it spreads out. Like, what do you, like, how does that even work? Like,
yeah, so like, even if we disregard like understanding what magical mechanism could make that possible, let's just grant that entirely. And then let's take that bird's eye view and zoom in far enough to look at a person.
Mm-hmm.
That person would be stretched into spaghettification. And like if they were near Antarctica. So it's like, is that what you think happens? Like, what?
It just looks that way, Peter. It just looks that way. Excuse me. Smitty's Music Tavern for $5 says, I am actually approaching a 25-year Mason, and I find the references hilarious. Ask me anything.
Ooh.
Well, I actually, I actually, because I started as a ghost debunker, right? So I was, debunking the paranormal, and to do that, I went out in the field, right? I have all my ghost hunting stuff here. Like I got my night vision camera. I got spirit boxes. I got the Ouija board. I got all the things. And one of the places I went to was a Freemason place, like a temple. And It was really cool. It was actually really, really, really interesting. So I already know a whole lot about Masons. Do you know anything about Masons, Freemasons?
Very little. I think I was going to church with one once, and like the most I know about it is that like one time he asked me to design a logo for a business, like a home improvement business he was running,
Nice.
and he asked me to put a little eye symbol in the logo.
Yo,
I'm like, all right, it's your money.
that is fantastic.
But
Eric,
otherwise, he was a fine dude.
right? I mean, I mean, he wasn't like some kind of a cult leader or anything like that. There's
No, he didn't. His eyes didn't glow red. He didn't.
Oh, I thought that was like one of the things you could like if your eyes didn't glow red naturally, you had to get contacts or something.
Nope.
Eric Langner, who lives in my basement for $10, says, "Super thanks for the great debate. Today's news sucked, and watching your logic win. The both of you behaved better than some today. Keep the hope alive. Hashtag first drunk debunk show prisoner." Eric, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, you're gonna be my neighbor, my cellar dwelling hostage for quite some time. So get comfortable. All right, let's see. Do I have anything else? Tell Peter that he did an amazing job. How does Requiem for a Dream says how does Peter walk around with nuts that big, swinging around as he absolutely smashed NiCO down that opening, crushing NiCO's lies?
Okay, but I don't need that mental image. Thank you.
Oh, that's so damn good. All right. And John Suffel wants to know, why is it always NASA? There are over 80 countries with space programs, but Flurfs only pick on NASA when it comes to conspiracy theories.
Well, number one, a lot of flat earthers are in America, so to Americans, that's the only country in the world. And number two, they have that cult dogma about NASA meaning deceive in Hebrew, but the word is actually nasha, and they can't tell the difference between an S and an SH. So
yeah, and it's not at all like it's like these people love to find, because imagine, right? There's 8 billion people on the earth. Okay, the statistical reality of one person doing the exact same thing at the exact same time is incredibly high, right? So like someone could cough at the same exact time at the exact same length. The same thing goes with any kind of letters or language or anything like that. Like it's just a fucking coincidence, you know? There are such things as coincidences.
speaking of, I don't know if you want to allocate any time to me showing this, but I was fully prepared in case NiCO brought up any Gematria stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so this is okay, guys. Debate's over. All the questions have been answered, and here we go. We're moving on to the after show. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I hope Max forgives and has patience here, but where is this? Okay, I want to share my screen in a second. Here we go. So, have you seen his website, the Gematrinator? I assume you probably have.
I haven't actually gone to the website. I've just seen him use it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'd never heard of Gematria, but I looked it up, and it's like, okay, you take some like cipher where you substitute numbers for each letter in the alphabet, and then it comes up with you add each letter together in a phrase, and it comes up with a final number.
Yeah.
And to me, that was just transparently dishonest. Like, I could see immediately you could use that to make whatever you wanted to make.
Right.
And so I did.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay, because really quick for me, I was watching this stuff and it's like, okay, so all these different words and phrases are all making like adding up to 252 or whatever, right? But then it's like, let's look at the common letters. Let's look at the common count of the letters, and they're all very similar. So go on.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen here.
Yeah.
You see this?
Yeah. Oh my
So,
God.
if now on the website, this is a screenshot, but on the website, if you click this ciphers button,
Yeah.
you will get an enormous number of options for like what your basically your palette of numbers
Hmm.
for the substitution will be. And I saw him use this. There's a satanic one and then a reverse satanic.
Right.
And what that means is, I looked up. Ah, shoot. I should have the screenshots here, but I looked it up on their like frequently asked questions, and it says, um, the satanic gematria is an occult method that begins on 36 for A because the 36th triangular number is 666. Anyway, I want to come back to that, but this was I actually wrote code to brute force this and find these things.
Yeah.
This was something that my wife was playing around with it with ChatGPT as well, and
Nice.
she came up with this one. But then there's stupid idiot day, a stupid cult day, stupid liar time, a dishonest poop. And all of these add up to 666 in this like gematria cipher. A liar loves poop. A liar licks a fart. All day a fart liar. All day a Satan day. And this was like I had a list of words and I just was randomly crunching them together in phrases and coming up with this stuff. So a demon poop poop. Hate is a butt face. Idiot likes turd. Idiot likes butt. Likes a turd cult. Likes a butt cult. Loves a poop liar. Loves a devil face.
Oh my
Demonic
God.
turd face. Demonic butt face. Hateful feces day.
I
Heart
love
is a butthole.
emojis.
Feces time. Obviously, I created my word list to sort of try to create stupid sounding things. So obviously that's
Right.
what happening here. But butt face is hate, and then this was another Chat GPT find. I love Jesus, mate.
Oh man.
A demonic daytime. Poop king is fart. Poop king is lies. A poop occult idiot. King serves time. NiCO serves time.
Oh shit.
King NiCO hate all. NiCO is idiot face. NiCO is poop fart. NiCO is all turds.
Jesus Christ.
All day is a cult.
Oh my God.
Idiot butt turds. Idiot is all day. Liar is all time. Liar poop feces. Liar fart scene. King licks fart. NiCO licks fart.
Oh my God. These are all super satanic.
Yep. Devil NiCO time.
The emojis really sell it, man. This.
King is a demons. Plural. NiCO is a demons.
Oh my God.
You'll notice King and NiCO add up to the same number. in the
Right.
cipher.
Yeah. Yeah.
King is very turd. NiCO is very turd. King is very butt. NiCO is very butt.
Wait. That would mean so King and NiCO would be 414, right?
Well, there's two of these satanic ciphers. One is forward and one is reverse. But I don't.
So whatever. So there's multiple ways for it to
Yeah,
fit your narrative.
We could do a blink test here on these two to see, like in the breakdown on the left here, King and NiCO. They have different numbers for the letters, but they add up to 207. And maybe it occurred to me, maybe that has something to do with why NiCO chose his username King NiCO.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't figure out like if that has any significance to him.
Well,
Anyway.
we should ask him because he's really good at finding like October 16th or something was like the birth date of all these freaking people and like he was able to decipher like all this. Like I don't know if do you watch his videos?
No.
Yeah. It's
No, I spent like 60 seconds one time where I was like, okay, I should watch some of his content. And within 60 seconds, I saw him use this Gematria website. And I'm like, what the freak is that?
I feel like that's
And so
all
that's-
this stuff is, yeah.
So I did some analysis, right? So
Okay.
I did, I created a random word list of 1,000 random words.
Okay.
And then did every single permutation of 2 of those words, which is, I think, 1 million permutations. And counted up the occurrence of each cipher result. And so that's where this graph shows a curve here. The purple is the forward satanic, and the orange is the reverse satanic. And here we have 666 marked on the chart.
Okay.
So you can see how that's kind of near the peak of the curve.
Yeah,
It's almost guaranteed.
Right. It's pretty
There's
accurate.
there's thousands and thousands of results for 666 using random words and phrases. And I'm like, I wonder why that is. So I looked up what a triangular number is. And I came up with an equation for what's going on here. So the right-hand side of the equation, this is what a triangular number is. You can look it up on Wikipedia. And basically what the satanic cipher is they took n equals 36, and if you run it through this side of the formula, you come up with 666.
Okay.
So 36 squared plus 36 over 2, that comes up with 666.
Mm-hmm.
And what the Gematria cipher is doing is all this on the left side of the equation, where, you have a certain, you start with a certain number on A, in this case, N. You add and this is probabilistic, right? So you add an average amount to that number for the number of letters there are in the alphabet. On average, you're going to land somewhere in the middle of the alphabet, right?
Right.
And then you multiply by the number of or the average number of letters in a word, and it's going to come up with this distribution, which is approximately equal to 666. I think it's in the range of, 550 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, gee, I wonder if you can do that with basically any value of n. And it turns out you can. Here is the 28th triangular number, which the evil number in this case would be 406. Again, near the peak of the curve.
Yeah, exactly.
Because math. They've tricked themselves.
This is so good. Peter, I want to first off, I have a compliment to you from Copy Cake in my Twitch chat. She says Peter is an amazing person and I want to be his friend.
Thank you.
Yes, great. So but this is what's great, because you did the work that I was like, I kind of want to figure this out, but that you did it way better than I could have ever possibly even thought about it. But that was really cool, and I appreciate you breaking down that for me, because, and for the rest of chat who's interested in the 666generator.com, says Monkey Camp Pat. Apparently there's a website that actually
Yes, I had there's a guy in Toon's Discord, is your guy, and he shared with me that website while I was doing this research, and I ended up with a little bit of results from that too, but I didn't do any mathematical analysis. I was just playing around with it, gee, I wonder what names I can put in here. And it was hilarious though.
That's so good. Jack Fedder for $2 says, love it. Geeks that code rule, fellow geek. Yes. I since I got my new job, I've never done as much coding as I've done with my new job. And I gotta tell you, ChatGPT is really, really helpful. You know what's even more helpful is cloud.ai. Are you familiar with Cloud? Or Claude is CLAUDE.ai. Really, really
I am
helpful.
not.
It just got a whole new coding update, which is pretty cool. So but yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Peter. This was
I just thought you might like that on this stream if you had time, so I'm glad you did.
Listen, any debunking of anything is welcome here.
I knew it was going to go over NiCO's head, so I didn't put it in my opening statement or anything, and predictably it didn't come up, but I'm like, I don't want it to go to waste. Anyway.
Zoomy Potato, he just retracted it. Oh, damn it, dude. Maybe he did something wrong, but it was I think he did. Oh, here we go. The drunk debunk show equals 666. No way.
Oh my gosh. Don't tell NiCO, he won't come back.
Oh my god, for real. Oh, 20 plus 8 times 5 minus 4 plus 18 plus 21 times 14 minus 11.
Oh, in the 666 generator, not in the
Oh, I
gematria.
see. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
The
Okay.
thing about the gematria thing is like I was reading their fact and it says it actually has a question in the frequently asked questions. Can't you do anything with so many numbers? And it says, while the amount of different numbers at first appears large to any reasonable skeptic, those who are initially doubtful of this code's relevance are often impressed by the consistency of the methods used, which also happen to be the most basic available. No one can deny that the alphabet has a specific order, and it's that same simple order which is applied and aligned with the calendar, whose numbers are universal. And it's like, okay, yeah, but you've got dozens of different ways that you can substitute numbers with those letters, and NiCO picks it like a buffet.
Right. Yeah, and he uses it as gospel. Like it's crazy. It's yeah. So Zumi, I apologize. Zumi is a she. My bad. There are actual gematria nutters. Yes, there are. Yeah, it's is that using PEMDAS, says Cody. Word. All right. So we have in 60 minutes we have the after show over on Matters Now. So I'm going to take this hour break to freshen up. Maybe even
Awesome.
shave my neck beard, which I had to keep this beard for the filming of my video for the top left submission because I filmed the first couple parts of it with my beard. So like if I just shaved and then recorded the rest of it, like it would look really weird. Be like, oh, I shaved my beard, by the way.
Content creators have to think about those weird things. I understand. Yeah. This is weird because I'm used to the super chats running way past the beginning of Max's after show.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, I have time now?
Yeah, right. Well, and plus NiCO had a jet. So, but yeah, no, I like to. I don't like people feeling the necessity to give me money because I don't rely on this for an income like MDD does and whatnot. So I welcome people to not send super chats and to just tag questions and stuff. But I mean, honestly, at this point, what more questions are there to ask?
Have you been called a shill yet?
Yes. Oh yes, I've been called a shill. I've been called a what was it called? An industry something, like an industry dump or something, that because I just literally came out of nowhere and like they're like, oh, you're created by NASA to do whatever. I'm like,
created by NASA? Oh my god.
like it's hilarious. And then there's other flat earthers who say I'm a completely different person. Like, oh, I know that you're this person, you sound just like him, you look just like him. Like it's crazy that these people will come up with literally anything. Oh, it starts now. Oh, okay. All right. So
the after show. Okay.
Yeah, the after show starts now. All right. So I will see you over there, buddy.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for the debate. That was really cool. That I really wanted to go over the gematria stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna raid you guys over to don't forget that play button you have and are secretly a big YouTuber. Yeah, there it is. My play button. My YouTube play button is gold. I'm getting a silver one. My sister got in the silver one, so I'm gonna have a silver one right next to the gold one. Super stoked. Yo, Steve464, how's it going? All right, so we're just gonna go right over to Matters Now for the after show. I think he's starting it now, but he said he's starting it now, right? Super chats are done. Super chats are done, Max. We are here. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh, whoops. Oh, I gotta build my wall back up because I'm a Freemason. There you go. What time is trivia? Oh me. No trivia tonight. This is the debate night. Where I'm hoping tomorrow night, if I'm able to. Oh. Let me go ahead and mute his stream over there. I'm just gonna send all you guys over to Matters Now, and we're gonna commence the after show. So let me go. Can I do it here? Edit. What are you loading? Stop loading. Let me edit. Great googly moogly. So hopefully tomorrow night, I'll be. Oh my god. What is happening? Oh my god, okay. It crashed. Because that's what YouTube does. Customization, redirect. Wait, is this even... Yeah, edit. There's no description? Wait, what is happening? Hold on, guys. Actually, I could just do this during the music. I'm gonna play some sign off music, guys. I'll see you guys over on Matters Now. I'm just gonna hop onto their panel and talk with Max. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for all the super chats, all the support. I don't need the money, but it certainly does fucking help. So again, I appreciate you supporting the stream, being here, liking the stream, subscribing. You guys are all fucking amazing. I'll see you guys over on Matters Now. Bye.
They travel to the edge to see the endless day, bringing charts and cameras to prove what they say. But the sun didn't set and the planet didn't end. Now they're scratching their heads and calling it pretend. The world kept spinning as the light stayed on. Flat earthers tried to cheer, but the proof was gone. And
we are just a harmless charitable fraternity. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat before we're ending. Smitty's Music Tavern, thank you so much. All right, I'll see you guys over on Matters Now. Love you. Oh, you see that video I sent you over? Oh, I saw that you sent me one, Cubby, but I have yet to watch it. But I'm gonna watch it before I go to bed tonight because it is pretty short. And I appreciate you thinking of me, Cubby. I appreciate it. Okay, love you. Bye.
Case. Still cried conspiracy to save some face. No edge to find, no great abyss, just a round earth with a daylight kiss. The skeptics lost in a luminous parade.
Yo, Issa, what's going on? I'll see you over on Matters Now, bud.
Betrayed. Flat earthers side holding maps and lies. Globers laughed beneath an Arctic sky. Yes.